Katy Perry has always been the pop star who could turn heartbreak into a Billboard hit, cry through a breakup and still show up wearing a cupcake bra, and somehow make the whole world dance while she healed in real time. But in 2025, something feels different, something feels off, and fans everywhere are asking the same question. Is Katy Perry actually okay? For years, Katy has built her empire on neon energy, playful chaos, and that glitter-covered resilience we all secretly wish we had. But lately, the glitter is slipping. And if the rumors are even half true, her emotional world has been on a roller coaster big enough to require a seatbelt and a medical waiver. The reassurance spiral nobody saw coming. According to people who know her, Katy has been caught in an emotional loop, and not the fun, remix-ready kind. Insiders claim she started relying heavily on Orlando Bloom for constant reassurance during their relationship. And not just the occasional, "Do you still love me?" moment. We're talking a full-time emotional subscription package. Texts, calls, daily check-ins, and the kind of emotional micromanagement usually reserved for couples in their third breakup, not their third year together. And let's be honest, everyone on Earth has either been that person or dated that person. The person who spirals when a message is left on read, even though the other person was literally in the shower. But for Katy, this wasn't a quirky relationship phase. This was a full emotional dependency meltdown, and the cracks started spreading way before the public ever caught on. The pop persona cracks down the middle. Katy Perry has always been larger than life. She once showed up to an awards show riding a giant mechanical lion. She made whipped cream shooting bras mainstream. She convinced the internet that a left shark having a nervous breakdown was somehow endearing. But the Katy Perry we're seeing in 2025, she looks exhausted. And not tired like, "I stayed up binge watching shows." Tired. Tired like, "Girl, are you okay?" Tired. Insiders say this breakup with Orlando Bloom hit her way harder than anyone expected. After years together, a public engagement, and a daughter, this split wasn't supposed to be just another Hollywood "we drifted apart" press release. Katy and Orlando were the couple everyone rooted for, the silly, sweet, slightly chaotic duo who actually looked like they liked each other. But when things started falling apart, Katy fell apart with it. Then comes the song that feels like a cry for help. Enter Band-Aids, a song that does not sound like just another breakup single. It sounds like Katy cracked open her diary, turned on the studio mic, and said, "Let's trauma dump with rhythm." Lyrics like, "I tried my best, and it's not what you did, it's what you didn't," don't sound like playful heartbreak pop. They sound like the kind of line someone says right before their therapist slowly removes their glasses and says, "Okay, let's unpack this." The song is beautiful, honest, and painfully transparent, and fans can feel it. This isn't teenage dream Katy. This is, "I've got emotional receipts and I'm tired of pretending Katy." And while it's powerful, it's also worrying, and because rarely does a pop star get this raw, unless something is really, really wrong. She doesn't look like herself. People close to Katy say she's been showing up to events distracted, dazed, and clearly not in her usual sparkly pop princess headspace. She's always been animated, upbeat, and theatrical. But lately, her vibe screams mentally buffering more than firework. She's been seen staring off, zoning out mid-conversation, and looking like her spirit animal is a phone with 1% battery. Even fans online, who can normally turn literally anything into a meme, aren't joking this time. They're worried. Not she's quirky worried, real worried. The Trudeau plot twist nobody was expecting. Because 2025 is apparently a never-ending fever dream, Katy Perry somehow ended up romantically linked to Justin Trudeau. Yes, that Justin Trudeau, the former Prime Minister of Canada. The guy who ran a whole country, the man responsible for press conferences, budgets, national crises, and the hair that somehow never moves. The internet wasn't ready. Nobody put Katy Perry dating Justin Trudeau on their 2025 bingo card. And yet, here we are. Sources say Katy wanted someone older, more grounded, less Hollywood chaos, and more reads foreign policy briefings before breakfast. Someone calm, someone stable, someone who doesn't have to rehearse sword fighting scenes for 6 months at a time or disappear into the Amazon rainforest for filming. A man who can tell her what's wrong with her Wi-Fi and also negotiate a trade deal. Honestly, after Orlando, it makes sense, but is this a love story or a rebound with diplomatic immunity? Here's where it gets complicated. People aren't convinced this new connection is making her happier. They say she still feels restless, still looks overwhelmed, and still hasn't found her emotional balance. She might have upgraded boyfriends, but she hasn't upgraded her peace. Dating Justin Trudeau is a choice, a bold choice, a political rom-com waiting to happen. But it also feels like Katy is trying to fill a void the size of her past relationship and calling it love. The emotional brand breakdown. For over a decade, Katy Perry has carried the brand of the girl who turns pain into pop. The queen of rainbow-colored comebacks, she made heartbreak catchy. She made sadness danceable. She built a career on smiling through challenges like they were wardrobe changes. But even pop stars get tired of performing happiness. And lately, it feels like Katy is losing her grip on the version of herself she's been selling to the world. Not a meltdown, not a crash, but a quiet unraveling. The kind that happens when someone has spent too many years being brave for cameras and starts to realize they don't want to be brave anymore. You can only paint on a smile so many times before your face starts to ache. Maybe, for the first time, Katy Perry isn't performing a persona. She's just being human, raw, emotional, messy, confused, and brutally honest. Breakdown before breakthrough, or full celebrity spiral. Every pop star reaches that crossroads, the moment where transparency becomes vulnerability, and vulnerability becomes concern. Britney had hers, Miley had hers, Selena had hers, and now, Katy might be at that same intersection. Is she about to reinvent herself yet again? Or is she headed toward the dreaded celebrity spiral phase tabloids drool over? Nobody knows. But one thing is clear, this isn't the same candy-coated, bubblegum pink Katy Perry the world grew up with. She's older, worn out, and probably tired of pretending to be the poster child for joy. The woman behind the glitter is allowed to break. And honestly, maybe that's okay. Maybe Katy Perry doesn't need to be the symbol of fun for the entire planet anymore. Maybe she doesn't want to be a walking emoji. Maybe she wants to be a person. Someone who cries, who spirals, who worries, who questions, who breaks. Being a brand is exhausting. Being human is messy. Katy is finally choosing messy, and that might be the healthiest thing she's done in years. What happens next? Whether Justin Trudeau is a new beginning or just an emotional band-aid, time will tell. Whether Katy's new era becomes her artistic rebirth or her public unraveling, we'll see. But one thing's certain, this next chapter of Katy Perry's life is going to be wild, unpredictable, emotional, and possibly the realest thing she's ever created. Fans might be concerned, insiders might be whispering, but for the first time, Katy Perry isn't trying to be a firework. She's just trying to be Katy. And maybe, just maybe, that's what she needed all along. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Katy Perry's latest chapter, don't forget to hit that like and make sure you subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Katy's in a breakthrough or a breakdown era?